Okay, we're going to see now how the client portal works. To do that, we need to open a new Windows to payrollsolutions.com. On the top, we find an option that says Net Client Login, and it takes you directly to the login page. Here, the client will have a username and password. And we're gonna have access to the client portal. This client portal is completely secure and complies with all the IRS regulation to exchange payroll tax documents with clients. And on the home page, we're going to find this section on the top that appear any new or any message that the system send you, change your password, or your password has expired, you need to renew your password, things like that. This section here that says recent payroll checks shows up the last 5 payroll checks processed. So this one would be a rapid access for the print checks section. Here, this one is the payroll section, shows up different news or change of information. So if we change the business location, so it's going to show up there. The management, so different departments, things like that would be showing right there. This section on the right called links, that is going to show up all the links that we post in the client portal. This means that if we want to send to all the clients different links, such as Form W4, where you can find a Form W4, so the link would be right there. Where you can find the Form I-9, the link would be right there. So any web link that we can share with clients, we're going to post in that section. Okay, on the left we have the menu. The menu is divided by 3 different sections. The first one is payroll, that includes 4 different subsections inside, which is enter time, print reports, print checks, and employees. And then we have separated the documents sections, which allow exchange documents with the payroll provider and access to all the documents that we have saved in our records, which is always is good to remind the clients that we have the all the records saved in our cloud, but however, all the records are from the client, so they will have access 24/7, and when they request the documents would be there. So let's go section by section so we can see the details. Let's start with enter time. In enter time, we have the timesheet, which is pretty basic. Remember that what we are seeing here is the basic plan. So we're not going to have like advanced features such as time and attendance. This is more like a basic one where the client does log in and input the information manually. So it's going to find a list of the employees with the basic information, name, last name, location, department, if the employee's salary or wages. Um, the client will find here a box to enter the regular hours, the overtime hours, and the W time hours in case they are in different states, such as California is one of them. So they have W time. So this section is a rapid section. It's going to find the basic information and is going to have access only to input regular hours, overtime, or W time. On the top, we can find when the payroll begin, when the payroll end, the check date, and the time in date. On the top of the screen, right here, we have a note section. Basically, you can send information to the processor. You can send a note to the processor. Let's say that I want to say, okay, print the check starting with the check number 4,589. So this node will let the processor know that the first check would be 4589. So we click on enter and we save the node. This is the rapid section, pretty basic information. As they call rapid, is fast. You enter the basic information to send that information to us, and we're going to process payroll in behalf of the client. So let's go to the detail section. In this part of the system, we find that we can see different items in each employee. So what is the difference? Here in Rapid, I have all employees and I only can input regular hours and overtime and W time for some states. In the detail sections, need to go employee by employee, and I will be able to see all the payroll items. Let's talk a little bit about this section. We're still seeing the period begin, period end, the check date, the timing date. We have the employee name here, which is this case is testing one is in testing last name because it's a demo. We have another one which is called Jackson Luke, and it shows up all the items assigned to this employee. So this employee has a salary item where I can say, okay, this employee works 80 hours. Because his salary is not changing the rate of the month. We have the bonus items, we have the commission items, we have the back pay items, and we can have, this is completely, it's personalized as the client needs. So we can have many items as the client needs. When the client needs to change any information, can do it from here. So bonus can say, okay, I'm going to pay 250 a bonus and click on save. So this information was saved here. This sales section is when they manage tips based on the sales. Is for specific for restaurant, and the deductions they will have a list of the deductions like 401k, different benefits such as health, vision, dental, and other things like that. So what they do is they show up all the items one by one, and they have the rate assigned. Click on next, and we go into the next employee, and it's going to show exactly the same: the pay items, and the deduction items. In case that I don't want to process a payment for this employee, I can click on do not pay and click on save. So this employee will not receive a payment. So basically, this is the basic plan to input the information for payroll. So after the client complete this timesheet or this spreadsheet, what the client needs to do is going to print report. In this section, the client will see exactly the same information and enter time, but it would be organized by employee, by items, and can see a report. So they can control if the information is correct before complete payroll. So here can basically check by department, okay, sales department totals, marketing department, all the departments together, and all the total, sorry, this is still department total. So this one is by location. and here we have the general total. So this is a report where the client can verify the information is correct before complete payroll. Also, the client can download this in PDF, which allow them to keep a record or a copy of the information that would be sent to us to process payroll. We can see the report here. It's in PDF. This can be saved. This can be saved for them for their own record. When the client confirms this information, they have to go back to enter time and click on complete payroll. When you click on complete payroll, the system automatically sends you to the home page, and that means that that information was sent to be processed. And if I going back to enter time, I would still seeing the information here, but this is because we haven't downloaded the information to process. So the information would be here until we actually download the information in our system and process payroll. That would be the payroll processing for the basic plan. Let's see another features that we have in the client portal. We have another section here which is called print checks. In this section, we're going to find all the checks, either payroll checks or vendor checks. So all the vendor checks refer to the payroll tax payments. Those payments that we send to the IRS for the tax 941, which is include Social Security, Medicare, and withholding from both from the employee and employer. Those taxes that we send at the end of the year, federal unemployment, or those taxes that we send, those payments that we send to state unemployment each quarter, everything would be allocated here. So the client needs to click on this and can see payroll checks or payments or vendor checks, which would be tax payments, like this one. This one is a tax payment to Internal Revenue Service for $370.92. So print checks, the client will find all the payments, either payroll checks or payroll tax payments. Then we have inside the payroll section, the last subsection that we have here is employees. This section will be available always when and only when the enter time spreadsheet is available. So when we download the information, this section will not contain anything, and the employees will not be able to make changes until the next pay period when we update the timesheet again, so the client can process payroll and can make changes on the employee with the employee information in any information for the employee settings. So in this section, employees, we have a list of the employees, and the client can see the main tab, personal information, employee personal information, personal tab, date of birth, date of hire, last raise date, and they can put it inactive if they need it. The payroll taxes would be the Form W-4 information, filing status, single merit, allowances, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the pen of the employee. It can be changed from here as well. And notes, if they want to save any notes, let's say, okay, today, that is December 11, process Form W-4 change to single for allowances. This is an example, but they can process any type information. Always need to hit here save, so the information will be saved. If they don't click on save, that information will not be saved, so they have to do it again. That's pretty much the payroll section. Pretty basic system, but actually very useful, very efficient, and it works pretty good for a small company or medium-sized company. It works pretty good. The issue here would be when we start having a lot of employees, like 10, 50 employees, that become a little complicated for them input the information manually. So for those type of company, I think for the salesperson would be better offer the time and attendance, which would be included in advance plan. So let's talk a little bit about the document section. In this part, the client will have two options. The first option is file exchange. These sections allows the client to exchange files with the processor. So if the client has a new document that wants to submit for the processor, instead of sending that file by email, sometimes emails are not pretty safe. So this section is secure, this website is secure, and they can allocate the file there, and they can do login from wherever, and the file will be there always. So this is a pretty nice section to exchange documents with the processor. They also can find different documents such as W4, W4, I-9, shop applications, those basic documents that we put there for them when they have a new hire. So there is a folder called new hire package. We have it right here, and we can see the direct deposit form, the I-9, W4, shop application, or for restaurant, this is a form required for the employees to report the cash tips. And there is different folders. The other folder doesn't contain any information. It was created just for the demo. But yes, we can create any folder here for the client to allocate information or exchange information with the processor. The other folder here with the name of the company will have the payroll and the payroll tax form, where are allocated all the information that we process. So let's say January 31st, 2019, we have a vendor check. So this one was a payment to Internal Revenue Service for $42. It was the FUTA. FUTA is the Federal Unemployment Tax, which is paid annually. Here is the payment. So we go back to the folder payroll. We go to actually a payroll. Let's say, let's going back to here. Payroll check. We have this payment for $1,040. So all the payroll checks and payroll tax payment will be allocated here, as well as this section print checks. The difference is sometimes we have a payroll report that are allocated here as well. Let's see here, we have a payroll output. These reports are printed together with payroll and basically include the payroll journal entry. If the client wants to import the information manually in the accounting system, they have this payroll journal entry with this accountant can be personalized with the company name or whatever HR account they're using. Then we have a cash requirement and deposit report. This report is pretty good because give you the net, the amount that the client needed in the bank account, and it has the employee taxes and employer taxes and how much is the total of these taxes. The second is a wage register. This gives you employee by employee, regular hours, overtime in hours and in a month. The worker compensations, we don't have information here, but here would be the rate, all the employee leaves, and the rate for each location, and how much would be paying per employee to worker compensations, the actual benefit, vacation, and sick time, the retirement plan, and that is all the reports that are printed with payroll. We have more reports for payroll, and we can create any report that the client requires as well. So we don't have limit on that. Payroll tax form, we're going to find here all the payroll tax forms each quarter, and it's allocated by quarter. So March 31st, 2018, we'll find here 941 form and RT6. So we click here, we're going to open the file, RT6 form, which is the Florida unemployment. It's a confirmation that was submitted, and on the other file, on the other file, we're going to find the actual form. So the client will find all the forms right here. So whenever the client needs a tax form for personal record, will be allocated in our security portal. And the news and informations. So we share here different links for the client to find in different forms, or any news that can be shared through this section as well. So basically that is all for the basic plan. It's really good. It works pretty well for companies with between 3, 4, up to 10 employees. I would say it's pretty. The only things when they go over 10 employees is that it takes a little more time to input the information employee by employee in this section. That's the only bad part of this. But the rest is actually pretty good. It's safe, secure, and countable for everyone. Okay, guys, that was all for the basic plan. Thank you so much.